I'm Kendra Bailey Morris for Heart of the Home, and we're here in Sur La Table's beautiful kitchen. And today we're going to be making a slow cooker pork barbecue done vinegar style. And this is actually a recipe that will be appearing in my book, The Southern Slow Cooker, that comes out later this year, in August 2013, as a matter of fact. So what we've got going here is a pork shoulder roast, and this is a bone-in pork shoulder roast. You could use a pork butt if you wanted as well. And I've trimmed it up quite a bit, which is fairly atypical when you're making barbecue, because a lot of times you want that fat on there, but since we're doing it in the slow cooker, we don't want too much fat to render in the pot. So I've already taken the liberty of trimming it up just a bit, and I've placed the pork shoulder roast on top of some sliced onions. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just poking some holes into the roast, and that is because I'm going to stud it with some garlic. And that's going to help flavor the meat while it cooks, because this is going to cook a long time, about 10 to 12 hours. If you have a larger roast, probably even longer, which makes this recipe really, really great if you want to do it as an overnight recipe. So you can just do this part that I'm doing right now, go to bed, wake up in the morning, and you have pork barbecue for breakfast. And the next thing I'm going to do is sprinkle some salt. And I'm basically just doing a dry rub for this. Some red pepper flakes. Some black pepper, and then I've got some brown sugar, and I'm just going to mix all of that into the meat. You just want to rub it in really good. Now I've got some cider vinegar, and again, this is a type of pork dish that doesn't have, or a type of pork barbecue rather, that doesn't have a real rich barbecue sauce. It just has more of a light cider, sugary, spicy combination, and I've got real cider going in this as well. And that's all there is to it. Now I'm just going to cover this, and I'm going to set it on low for about, at minimum, I would say 9 hours, depending on the size of your roast. This is about a 4-pound roast. So 10 to 12 plus hours until it's nice and shreddable and fall off the bone delicious. Virginia pork is a major commodity with over 964 farms throughout the state producing $57 million in sales. Okay, so our pork is still going. Like I said, it needs at least 8 to 9 hours, probably upwards of 10 to 12, depending on the size. So real quickly, I'm going to whip up a creamy cider slaw. Because you can't have a pork barbecue sandwich without the slaw on it. You know, that's just the way it goes in the South. And so I've got cider vinegar and sugar. And what I'm going to do here is just whisk this together. And what you want to do is get the grains, the sugary grains dissolved. That ought to do it. And I'm going to add some mayonnaise. I'm just going to whisk this all together. Break up the mayonnaise in there. And this is just a real simple slaw base. I have got a little bit of celery seed. That's optional. I like it in there for a little bit of texture and color. Tiny bit of salt. Freshly ground pepper. Whisk that together. Again, break up the mayonnaise. And then I'm just going to add some slaw here. And this is finely grated cabbage. And you could make this upwards of several hours ahead of time. I wouldn't make it a day ahead of time, as the slaw has a tendency to get a little bit mushy with this particular recipe. This looks good, and I'm going to set this aside, and this is going to top our barbecue sandwich. Meanwhile, through the magic of television, we have our finished barbecue already done. And you can see the onions have really melted into the barbecue. You've got all that flavor. At this point, if you just wanted to leave the dish as is, you could do that. I'm actually going to go ahead and make a barbecue sauce to go with it, which is, again, not a super heavy barbecue sauce. It's a little bit lighter. But this is ready to go. You can freeze this if you wanted to. You can use it in burritos, tacos, different things like that. It's really, really nice. I've got some water in a saucepan, and I'm going to add some more cider vinegar. And then this is the drippings that I've removed out of the crock pot. So these drippings are actually, these are the pork drippings. There's a lot of flavor in this, so you want to preserve it. It's about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of that, and I'm going to add this in with my water and my cider vinegar. And I've got some ketchup. And then I've got some mustard, dried mustard. brown sugar, paprika, chili powder, and I've also got some more of those red pepper flakes, a little bit of Worcestershire, and I'm going to stir this together. Turn my heat up just a bit. If you wanted at this point not to do this sauce and just do a regular barbecue sauce, you could get it out of the jar, or you could go ahead and make your own. Totally up to you, like a sweeter base. Okay. And what I'm going to do with this is pour this back, not all of it, just some of it back in to moisten my meat and give it a little extra flavor. And at this point, you can go ahead and set your slow cooker to warm, and people can just serve themselves straight out of the pot. And I'm going to let this go for just a few more minutes, and then we're going to assemble our sandwiches. This is the fun and easy part, which is basically just putting some barbecue on the bun. A little bit of slaw on top. And a little extra slaw on the side. You could serve this with baked beans. That would be one of the great way to serve it, or collard greens, Virginia grown collards. So there you have it, slow cooker barbecue done up cider style. I'm Kendra Bailey Morris. Let's get cooking.
Recipes from the heart of the home can be found on the Virginia Farm Bureau website at vafarmbureau.org.